Alright, imagine this. It was a regular day, kinda like any other, at least on the surface. But something unusual was brewing under that calm. You see, it all started with Navinder Singh Sarao, a name most wouldn't have noticed, but in the world of finance his story became unforgettable. Our peer, sab badal gaya. Now, let's go back a bit. Navinder, he was an ordinary guy, living in Hounslow, London. Just picture it. His small room, stacks of computers buzzing, his eyes glued to the screen. It was a usual scene for him. Lekin koi nahi janta tha, wo kya kar raha tha. He had a knack for numbers. This guy, our trading ka junoon thoda alag hi tha. Day in and out, he was engrossed in his own world, watching numbers dance across his screens. And then, there was that one day, the day the market went absolutely wild. May 6th, 2010, the day which would be called the flash crash. At 2:32 p.m. New York time, the financial world witnessed something inexplicable. Prices began to plummet in a way nobody had ever seen before. Panic filled the air like electricity. Trading floors were buzzing with chaos. Nobody knew who or what was behind this. On his beach, Navinder quietly continued his work. Behind the scenes, Navinder was using a technique called spoofing. Imagine placing thousands of orders with no intention of ever executing them. To the market, it looked like high demand or supply, but at the last moment, poof, those orders would disappear. Subko yun tagne ka junoon. It took some skill. His hands moved swiftly, eyes focused, as traders watched in horror. For Navinder, it was another day. But he didn't just aim to wreak havoc. Navinder was smart. He stacked small profits, each like a coin tossed in a jar. But these small profits piled up to an estimated $40 million, and to think, he did it all from his small room in Hounslow. News hadn't spread yet, but tension was building up. However, with great moves come greater catches. Authorities were closing in, the buzz was getting louder, investigators were digging up every digital trail he left behind, and then warnings started appearing. Emails, phone calls, notices. They were looking for one of the key figures behind one of the biggest crashes in history. And it seemed like Navinder's name was edging closer to the spotlight. This is where the stakes really started rising. Pir aayi wo ek din, the knock on the door, a moment of truth. Navinder was caught completely off guard. His hands trembled as he opened the door. Authorities from multiple agencies stood right there, looking right into his eyes. The room suddenly felt a little smaller, the air a bit heavier. There was no escape now. The scenes unfolded swiftly after. Courtrooms, media headlines, legal battles. Subke bichek akela Navinder. Stating, he didn't mean to cause harm, but the law is the law. He had to face the consequences of his actions. The financial world and the law stood at a crossroads with him. As he faced the courtroom, his journey of manipulating the market from a small room ended there. Reality sunk in. Uncertain about what the future held, he knew one thing. This part of the story had concluded. His presence, once invisible in the financial world, now became a story many would talk about for years. And there in the courtroom, the gavel came down, silence followed, akin to the calm after a storm. Navinder Singh Sarao stood there, contemplating the choices he had made. As he was led away, the courtroom emptied slowly, the sound of footsteps echoing. With that, the tale of the flash crash trader reached its close. Uske baad, sab khamosh ho gaya. On the streets outside, life moved on. Cars buzzed by. Pedestrians hurried along. The noise of the city resumed its usual pace. But inside, on a forgotten courtroom bench, lay a document bearing his name. That final image stays with us as a stark reminder of what unfolded in those hidden corners of the financial maze.